I'll show it to you. Hold on.
She didn't.
I'll show you. Hold on.
Well, I guess we'll try and get that going in a second. But what we were gonna start the show was with a wonderful video from TMZ Sports about Brandon Marshall realizing and finding out that Jay Cutler
straight news or like
had a nude photo posted from his girlfriend. So, but welcome to the Pick Six.
Top news.
1 second.
I suppose it's playing in the background. I have no idea. I don't run the show. I just host it. So, I'm Tanner Burke. I'm joined by my wonderful brother Trevor, who drove halfway across the country just to be here today to fill in for James, who is working on some opening day stuff for the Brewers. So, Trevor, welcome to the Pick Six.
Thanks for having me. It's good
to
be
have
here.
you here, man.
It's a special treat.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, we are both wearing our Packers hoodies because we do have roots here in Wisconsin, and we do have our fanhood of the green and gold, but we are two Bills fans hiding beneath the Green Bay green and gold. So, but we're still representing the Bills.
That's right, always. But it's nice to watch a winning franchise.
Yeah, usually it happens around like week 8, week 9 when the Bills are
it's the inevitable.
It's the inevitable. But yeah, we're representing. We got Tyrod Taylor jersey, our Watkins jersey, and of course our lovely Flutie Flakes, and our mother sent with Trevor our beautiful koozies here. So we got Jim Kelly and Andre Reed hanging out with us, as well as some Anchor Bar hot sauce. So
that's right.
We are Bills fans nonetheless. We have a great show for you today, special edition of Pick Six. Of course, we're in the offseason. There's not a lot going on in the NFL, but there's enough for us to talk about. The draft is coming up right around the corner, but we will have Gregg Schwartz on the show to talk about Vegas and the Raiders moving to Vegas and what that means to the NFL, what that means to the league, and what exactly is going to happen to the team once they inevitably move to Vegas in the next couple of years here. We'll also talk about the most improved teams in the NFL through free agency and what they may be able to bring to the table this coming season. We also have my favorite segment, which we have every week on the Pick Six, called, rightfully so, the Pick Six, where Trevor and I will draft simultaneously our ideal items for a tailgate. So we will both pick 6 things for a tailgate, and we'll let the viewers at home decide which tailgate they would likely attend. So that should be fun. I think we have a couple things that we may be thinking about that we may bring to the same tailgate, but
both from the same area.
So,
I feel like it should be a fun segment.
It'll be fun. I'm excited. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about today. But our first segment, which is why I was planning on playing our Jay Cutler video here of Brandon Marshall finding out that Jay Cutler has a nude photo posted on Instagram from his girlfriend. Granted, it is just a butt crack, but my favorite segment, Cross the Line, is our first segment here on the Pick Six, where we talk about certain things going on in the NFL and whether or not they crossed the line. So we'll bring out the chains here and see if Jay Cutler and his girlfriend crossed the line. So if anyone at home has not noticed or known or heard, Jay Cutler's girlfriend posted a picture on Instagram, a very suggestive picture. They are clearly on vacation, and here it is.
It's just ridiculous.
I love the little black bar that just, I mean, obviously that's his butt crack. I don't think there's any hiding there, but it's embarrassing. A lot of people are talking about whether or not Jay Cutler will come back next season. I don't think he's going to do it, but you gotta keep yourself in line here. Pardon the pun. Keep yourself in line, and especially your girlfriend, if she's going to post random stuff like that, which may affect inevitably where he will sign. But did Jay Cutler and his girlfriend cross the line by posting this picture out on the internet here?
Yes.
Of course,
absolutely. What are you doing? I mean, come on. You're a public figure, essentially. You're a professional football player. I mean, I'm sure some kids look up to you out there in the world, and now they're just looking down at your naked body.
Your naked body.
It's not something I had to see today or ever in my life, and now it's just burned in my brain. So
it's safe to say that smoking Jay Cutler has officially turned into naked Jay Cutler. Here's the picture again.
See it again.
That butt crack. I mean, wow. This guy. I mean, clearly he works out.
Just what is he looking at?
I don't know. What is going on?
Not that I need to know the context of the picture, but it just begs several questions.
It looks like
we'll
they're
probably
on
never know.
It looks like they're on like a deserted island that maybe the island John Ross should have won if he would have just worn Adidas shoes like he probably was advised to do if he was even planning on breaking the 40-yard dash record. But this is Jay Cutler and his wife hanging out on an island, just being naked and stuff. It reminds me of the. Was it Eric? Who was it? Eric Decker. Excuse me. Rightfully so. Eric Decker's girlfriend, or is it his wife? His wife. Okay, thank you. Of course, it's great to have a producer who actually knows what the age he's talking about. But Eric Decker's wife. It's funny because we talked about it on the show like last week, I'm pretty sure. But Eric Decker's wife posted some suggestive pictures last season on Snapchat when Eric Decker scored a touchdown. She basically said, Big Dick Decker scores a touchdown. We're like, okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's kind of along the same lines, though. Well, apparently Eric Decker said that they have a no clothes rule in the house. So like, if you're walking around the house and you're not expecting guests, you're just not supposed to wear clothes.
Well, let's keep things exciting, I suppose. It's one way to live your life. I'm
not going over there for a Super Bowl party if that's what that means. But
hey,
if that means hanging out with Eric Decker,
teach their own. I suppose.
Teach their own.
Right.
That's right.
Teach their own.
So here's the question: did Jay Cutler cross the line? Trevor, you say yes.
Absolutely.
Trevor made a good point. You have to uphold a certain public image when you're a professional athlete.
You don't have to, but I mean,
you're supposed to. You're advised to. At least your agent. I'm sure Jay Cutler's agent is probably not happy right now, especially considering that he hasn't signed anywhere yet, and we don't know where he's going to play, if he'll play at all. And I don't think this will help his situation in the slightest bit. So
certainly not.
I'm going to say Jay Cutler. I don't know if it was Jay Cutler that crossed the line, but I'm going to say his wife crossed the line because his wife is the one that posted the picture. So unbelievable, totally ridiculous. Let's move on to our next topic of discussion for cross the line.
Can we please?
Can we please? So you're a golfer.
Yes.
Right? You're a golfer. Marshawn Lynch came out with a video. I'm sure you've seen it, where he basically – I thought Charles Barkley had a terrible golf swing. Marshawn Lynch's golf swing is the worst thing that me swinging the club at 4 years old probably had better form than Marshawn's.
His swing is awful.
Tell me about it. You're a golfer. Where
do I begin? Like you said, it is Charles Barkley-esque. I would be of the school of thought that Charles's swing was, before it got fixed by Hank Haney, was much
fixed
worse.
Is at least loosely fixed.
At least Marshawn's ball goes far. I'll just say
that. I love it because at the end of the video, Marshawn, you can hear a guy in the background go, "Well, it went far."
Yeah.
Here, I think we'll have a video here. We'll show it right here. This is Marshawn Lynch attempting to train for the Masters here.
Great form.
Okay, he's lining up. Knees bent. Oh.
Just all of his might.
I think he needs to start with planting his feet. Just plant your feet, man.
It went far.
It went far. This is a terrible, terrible swing. I know that Hank Haney somewhere is drooling because he's like, I got another celebrity that I can just totally exploit for more money.
I'm sure he's very happy to see that video.
Yeah.
Most of us aren't, but Hank's, he's right there.
It was ugly. You play golf, I play golf. You're a lot better than I am, but my swing's not that bad.
Well, don't sell yourself short.
That is a good point. So did Marshawn cross the line in regards to attempting to hit a golf ball?
No. I think, everyone's got to start somewhere. Golf's, you're not going to always – no one's going to be perfect at the game. You got to start somewhere. And I'm always of the school of thought if you're having a good time playing, even if you're not playing well, that's a win. So
that's a win.
I don't think he's crossing the line.
We had an uncle he loved the game of golf. Our family loves golf. Our uncle used to design golf courses and build golf courses, and he would always play the game in the way where if you can do anything to get the ball in the hole, you should do it.
Just rip it and rip it. Whether you're hitting a driver or putting.
Yeah,
just hit it.
He's the guy that would take a driver out of the rough, which is, if you don't watch golf, it's not something that you do. And our mom was playing with him one day, and she said, can you do that? Can you hit your driver out of the rough? And he looked at her and said, whatever you got to do to get the ball in the hole. Yeah. That is amazing. That is Uncle Tim in a nutshell. He is
absolutely.
He is the best. He's great.
That's the only way you should play golf.
Did Uncle Tim cross the line by taking a driver out of the rough?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not.
I do it all the time. I love it. Anytime I can hit a drive out of the fairway, like when you hit driver off deck in the fairway, and it like actually goes like 220 yards, you're like, yeah.
I did driver. That's right. That was me.
Everyone around you was like, "You have to hit your driver." It's like, yes. So Marshawn, I don't think he crossed the line. I commend him for trying, and he's got confidence, and he doesn't care what anybody says. So he's just here so he doesn't get fined.
That's right. We won't see him on the tour anytime soon, but as long as he's having a good time, more power to you.
He's not getting invited to the Masters next week, that's for sure. Okay, I got one more here for Cross the Line before we get to Gregg Schwartz, our football correspondent. The NFL is moving the Oakland Raiders to Las Vegas, which I think is totally ridiculous and doesn't make sense to me. Did the NFL cross the line by putting a team in a city where they will never hold a dedicated franchise of fans?
Of course. Look, the NFL moved 3 franchises in San Diego, Oakland, and
St. Louis.
St. Louis. I mean, we're talking about San Diego, a team that was in the NFL for 50-plus years. I mean, these are teams when you have the league being built on
history
and fans' interest. I mean, fans drive the league. I mean, it's just the way that they moved the 3 franchises in the last 15 months. I mean, it's just I don't think it's good for the future of the NFL. I mean, it's just it's like a bubble that's going to burst. I think. I mean, they're just trying to do too much. I mean, they're chasing the almighty dollar, if you will. And
it's 100% what it is.
I mean, the NFL, all they care about is money, and Las Vegas is Sin City. It's driven by tourists and money
and gambling,
which is funny because the NFL has a strict no gambling policy.
So
and it's just, I think it's wrong.
I know your opinion, so I'll point it in that direction. Why did Roger Goodell think that this was a good idea? Because quite frankly, they will never have a fan base. Every single team that plays there will essentially be a home game. And the people, I wouldn't want to play for a team that's in Vegas because you know that you're not going to have fans that are going to be coming to your games rooting for you. Everybody that's going to be at the game is going to be rooting for your opponent. So every single game while you're with this team is going to be essentially an away game, and you're never going to get a good break. So what do you think? Why would Roger Goodell put a team in Vegas?
Just like I said, money. I mean, look, I'm stoked to go to a Bills game
in Vegas.
I mean, I'm sure every fan of every team that isn't the Raiders is looking forward to going to Vegas to, make a Vegas trip in with seeing their favorite team. But, I mean, I feel bad as a Bills fan for Raiders fans. I mean, it's another storied franchise in the NFL, and to see them go to Las Vegas of all places. I mean, come on, what are we doing here?
I would have been more content with them moving to London or even Mexico City, or apparently they're looking at China too. But as Trevor knows, and I don't know if many people out there know, some people still think that the Bills are going to move to Toronto, which is not the case. But for the longest time, the Bills were playing one home game every year in Toronto, which was totally ridiculous because the people there didn't even want us to play there. But they pushed for years and years and years to try and make the Bills move to Toronto. And this is the reason why we do not listen to Bon Jovi in Buffalo, because he did have a hand in the potential buy or sale of the Buffalo Bills organization, even though he lied to everybody and said, I won't move the Bills. But he was partnering with the Rogers Group, which is located in Toronto. So it was basically just a blatant lie. He's Canadian anyways, so I mean, we basically are too, but whatever. So,
well,
whoa.
I will never listen to Bon Jovi willingly ever again.
Ever again.
But it is. I mean, the Pagulos came in and saved the Bills. I mean, for a very long time, it was quite a possibility of us going to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I mean, for us as Bills fans,
we're lucky.
We're lucky. I mean, we were one of the first AFL teams. I mean, I couldn't believe that was even a possibility for so long, but thank God the Pagulas
came in and
saved us.
They're basically saviors of
that's right
of the city as a whole, not even just the sports teams. But
the NFL should just not be moving franchises. I don't agree with it.
If anything, I mean, I'm totally okay with expansions. Obviously, you have to be very careful with that, but I don't like the move to Vegas, so I'm going to say Roger Goodell crossed the line because this is a blatant play in the sense that he just wants to make more money, and this will get them more money, even though there are a billion other cities in the country, even in the world, that would be way more successful from a fan standpoint and a branding standpoint than Las Vegas. So it doesn't make sense to me, but I'm going to go ahead and say that Roger Goodell and the league, and quite frankly the ownership group who voted for it and allowed it, crossed a line. Trevor, what do you think?
About the
Did they cross? Do you think they crossed the line by moving a team to Vegas?
Absolutely.
That's what I
I'm
figured.
going to double down on everything I just said. I mean, come on. Thank God that the Dolphins were. I mean, the Pagulas voted, as did every other, or 30 of the other team owners, to move the team to Vegas to, quote unquote, as Jerry Jones would say, grow the pie.
Right.
But the Dolphins owners, their names escape me. They voted against it, and I'm with them.
I'm for the first time in my life, I'm with the Dolphins.
That's right.
But we have somebody. We have Gregg Schwartz here to chat a little bit about this Vegas move. It's definitely the hottest thing in the NFL right now in regards to recent news, everything going on. So Gregg's here to talk a little bit about the Raiders moving to Vegas and what this kind of means for the league and what this will grow into moving forward, I suppose. So, Gregg, how are you doing today, sir?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Doing
I'm
well.
glad to have my brother here. He basically called me. He called me Monday night. He had thought about coming out last week, and he called me Monday night at 12:30 our time in Milwaukee, which is Central Time. So it was 1:30 in the morning in Buffalo, and he called me and he said, "Hey, I'm thinking about driving out tomorrow. What do you think about that?" And I said, "Sure, let's do it." And we kind of joked about it in passing, and then the morning came, and sure enough, he's on the road at 9 o'clock. So
We did it.
But it's great to have him on, so it's good. I'm glad to have him here. Drove halfway across the country to talk the Oakland Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders.
I'll never get used
with me
to it.
on
I
this show.
refuse.
So, Gregg, what are your initial opinions here on a team playing in Vegas? I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I think first of all, actually, I think I'm in a really bad echo situation here. So let me fix that a minute.
Not a problem.
Yeah, it's a little better. I'm out on the road, so
Yeah, that's all right. Where
I apologize.
are you on the road, if you don't mind me asking?
Actually, at the fine establishment, Cheeseburger in Paradise.
All right.
All right.
It's Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. All right. Well, you drove somewhat near there.
I was all over
So
the place.
first of all, Raiders.
Yeah.
I think the best way that we can refer to them going forward is the Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas. We'll kind of put an Angels little twist to them because it kind of pulls it all together. But as far as the moves they've made, it's all for the money. That's exactly, you guys were kind of highlighting it pretty well. I don't have any inside information on this, but I would guarantee you that the next Super Bowl that gets bid on in 2021 or 2022 will be in Las Vegas because that's where they're going to make the money. And, it's a big-time money grab.
That is essentially what I think it boils down to, because the league has to know that they're not going to build a franchise of dedicated fans. There are teams and cities where they'll have fair weather fans, which is totally understandable, like Chicago or now LA, I suppose. But then you have teams like Green Bay and the Bills who have fans that will literally watch the team even if they don't make the playoffs for 17 years. But you're not getting either of those things in Vegas. All you're getting is essentially, like you said, a money grab. So why should I care about this Vegas team if I know, if anything, I think it's hurting the league as a whole, because Roger Goodell and the owners are basically saying, yeah, we're going to make a little bit more money and we're going to put a team somewhere where they will attract some more tourists and hypothetically grow the league. But this is essentially a money grab, but I don't understand why they decided to go with a city that will never build a fan base. I mean, how does this make sense at all?
I think it comes out of some of the other issues, the marketing, the fact that they're practically being handed a stadium, and stadia is such a big deal in professional sports anymore that as long as the owners or the league doesn't have to pay for it, then they consider it free money. As far as a fan base, I mean, you brought up the fact that it makes a great destination for the Bills, if you're a Bills fan, as you guys are, or in my case, the Bears, that, hey, I might take a road trip out to Las Vegas for just, fun and get to check out my team. If you're a Raiders fan, though, it really sucks.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right. With that line of thinking, Greg, do you think, any, if at all, Raiders fans from the Oakland, the Bay Area there, do you think they'll follow their team to Vegas?
I know most of the Raiders nation won't go to become 49ers fans or go to 49ers games. So it's almost, what other option is there at the end of the day? Are they going to support them in person? Well, time will tell. But I think that, none of that was factored in originally. And really, for the league, I think there are a lot of potential opportunities for marketing and all the money that comes with that. For Al Davis's kid, and I forget his name off the top of my head, but
Mark.
for the owner, other than you're getting a free stadium by and large, I don't see the benefit at all in it. I mean, I agree with you guys that building a fan base for the Las Vegas Raiders is just going to be really difficult.
I personally don't know if this will last. I don't think in 10 years we'll still be looking at the Raiders as the Las Vegas Raiders, much like the NHL is doing it too, or the NHL is putting a team in Vegas. And I had the same reaction in the sense that for the NHL, they're putting another hockey team in the South, which is already a bad idea, and they're putting them in a city that could literally care less about professional sports, aside from the tourists there who will not be rooting for the home team. So all these, even for hockey and for football, all these games are basically going to be away games. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, will these players even care? Are they going to basically give up if they have to play in Vegas? I know Marshawn Lynch, if he does decide to play with the Raiders for the last 2 seasons of their existence, I suppose, he's not going to want to play if they're in Vegas. I don't think anybody that's currently on the team would want to play for the Raiders if they're in Vegas, because you're basically going in, and the Raiders didn't even have a big fan base as a whole, or attendance rate at all to begin with. And now they're moving to Vegas, and these players are going to be getting even less fans, and they're going to get more fans from other teams coming in and rooting against them. So what do you think was going through these players' minds looking forward? Because they essentially have to think about what their future is going to be like and possibly get traded somewhere. And this whole organization is basically being set up to fail, I think, to me. Do you think that this team will last more than 10 years? Because quite frankly, I don't think it will.
As long as there's money being paid out, I think that they will be able to get players to play. But I agree with you. They're grabbing the cash right now, and future be damned. I really feel like. The interesting thing too with that. So to answer your first question, yeah, getting marquee name free agents, I think, is going to be really difficult because they're the ones that really get concerned with the neighborhood and the city they're living in or potentially living in, cost of living, that sort of thing. But they'll be able to get players. Will they able to be as competitive as they've built themselves up to be right now? Probably not down the road. And then it becomes the thing about, being able to sell tickets to a losing team or whatever. And I agree with you. The business plan in this just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I just think that there's better cities that are more deserving of a franchise. Our father's from Omaha, Nebraska, and they are just hardcore Nebraska Cornhuskers fans. And not that they're hungry or thirsty for an NFL franchise, but I think an NFL franchise would be more successful in a state that doesn't have any professional sports teams at the moment, like Nebraska or Iowa even. But putting a team in Vegas, to me, they'll probably end up getting more fans to the games, but the problem is the people that are at the games won't be rooting for the team. So you're basically it's going to turn into a situation where these players who are playing for the Raiders won't want to be there, And like you said, from a business plan standpoint, it just does not make any sense. I mean, the Oakland Raiders last season finished last in the league in average attendance at 54,000, which is awful. And I don't know if that's even including – I mean, they had to tarp off an entire upper deck section of their stadium for the last couple of years because they couldn't fill the seats. So they didn't want it to look like a bunch of empty seats, which, like you know, Trevor – when the Bills were playing games in Toronto, they couldn't sell out the games because nobody wanted to go to games in Toronto because they were too expensive.
That's right.
So maybe that's another thing where these tickets, it's going to be like going to a game in Dallas where it's going to cost too much. Everything there is going to be expensive because you're in Vegas. It's the tourist capital of the world. Like, why should I care? Why do I think that this is a good idea? Like I said before, Roger Goodell has been talking about moving a team to London for the last, however many years, and we've been playing games there for the last couple of years. Why are we moving a team in Vegas? This hasn't been talked about, in recent memory, and all of a sudden there's a team in Vegas. Why wouldn't we just try and move to, London or, anywhere else? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, Mark Davis, he did look into other areas such as San Antonio. He even looked into San Diego. The bottom line pretty much was with Vegas, the city offered $750 million to Mark Davis to bring the team there. So, I mean, if you don't take that deal, I mean, I'm sorry, you're not a smart businessman. So, it came down to bringing a new stadium into the fold. I mean, the NFL is all about state-of-the-art stadiums, moving forward.
Money.
And, I guess in California, it's tough to get state funding for these types of things. And, it's my belief that they tried. But, at the end of the day, he had $750 million coming at him from the city of Las Vegas. And, I don't blame him personally for taking it. Don't like the move, but the bottom line of the NFL is money. So
now here's the deal. We talked about it a little bit. We got Gregg Schwartz on the line, one of our NFL correspondents. Of course, we're talking the Raiders moving to Las Vegas, which, quite frankly, Trevor and I do not believe is a good thing, and I don't believe Greg does either. But here's the thing. I'm going to buy into the garbage that the league is spitting at me right now. I, like Trevor said, will eventually want to go or plan a trip to Vegas around my football team playing the Las Vegas Raiders. And that is exactly what the league wants from me. And I don't like the business model as a whole, but I will eventually go to Vegas to watch the Bills lose to the Raiders. But Greg, what do you think? Are you ever gonna plan a trip to watch the Bears play the Raiders in Las Vegas?
Absolutely. I mean, you got Cirque du Soleil, you got, in my case it'd be Raiders Bears, and go see Celine Dion afterwards. I mean, it's all right there. But again, I don't know. For a visiting fan, it's going to be awesome. For a home fan, I don't get the draw. The thing I'll point out too, though, is as long as there's still a team in Jacksonville, Florida, pretty much any city could have a team at this point.
I agree. There, like you said, a team in Jacksonville. There are teams that are currently in the league that don't have a lot of great attendance. The fan bases fluctuate across the league. Dallas apparently has the number one total fan. Is that what it is? The total attendance for the season was 1.3 million people. That is insane. That's a lot of. And Oakland was 31st in overall attendance at 932,000. So they weren't even close to the middle of the pack. But so I'm not saying that there should be a team in Oakland because I don't think there should be. They couldn't support a team that had been there and then left and then came back. So it didn't make sense to have a team in Oakland. It doesn't make sense for me to have a team in Las Vegas. You're essentially sending a bunch of players to a place where your career will inevitably go downhill. So I don't think the franchise will even be good moving forward. But I'm excited to watch it because I always like to see what happens with new teams when there is expansions or teams moving. I mean, I was excited to see what would happen when the Rams moved to L.A. I wanted to watch the L.A. Rams, and they, of course, were not as good as people assumed that they would be. But I don't know. I mean, I can see myself going to Vegas to watch a game. I don't like the move. I don't think it'll be successful, and I don't think they'll still be there in 10 years.
That's a pretty hard driving line you're taking there.
Is it?
I mean, of course they're going to be there. They're going to make money. Even if the largest percentage of their income comes from TV ratings and corporate sponsorship. I mean, if people don't go to the games, they'll still make enough money to stay there. And once they build the stadium, I mean, who's going to use it?
Yeah, exactly. And then, like you said, $750 million basically getting thrown out there on the table. L.A. was number 32 in overall attendance last year at 607,000. Is that right? Am I wrong? Are you just shaking your head? Baxter's shaking his head at me. I don't know. He usually does it anyways. But, Greg, where would you like to see? Because I would love to see a team in London. I think it's totally possible. I think it's exciting, and I think the Europeans would love to see the NFL branch out there. I don't think there isn't a league that has done anything like that aside from different soccer leagues. But if there was another city that we could have moved the Oakland Raiders to, where would you put this franchise?
Honestly, I haven't given it much thought. You brought up Toronto with Buffalo. I think Canada would be intriguing. I know they keep playing around with Mexico City. Whether we'd be able to get an entire football team over Trump's wall is another story. But, Oklahoma City has fared pretty well as an NBA town. So San Antonio, I know when the Saints were having issues with Hurricane Katrina was an option. So there's a lot of possibilities. I mean, San Diego is back in play, and I can't see that city going too long without a franchise. So, I think there's a lot of opportunities there, but Las Vegas could throw all that money up, and that's how they got a team.
Greg, do you think it makes sense logistically for the NFL to? Cause we obviously know there's an interest in London for a team. I mean, the Jaguars have been playing games there for several years now, and it's not a secret that the NFL does want to eventually explore the possibility of bringing a franchise there. Do you think it makes sense logistically for the league to bring a team to England, and would that make sense to you?
Business-wise and financially, sure. I mean, they do support American football very, very strongly there. Logistically, I don't know how it's going to work, though, with particularly with that team having to come to the States 8 times to play road games. So unless they set up long road trips or have an American base to practice from and whatnot when they do come back over the pond. But certainly Goodell seems intent on exploring it. So can I see a franchise in London in my lifetime? Absolutely.
Now, before we let you go, I do have one more quick question. Gregg Schwartz, one of our NFL correspondents here, chatting with us on the Pick 6. Of course, Trevor, my special celebrity guest host here today.
That's right.
I do have one more quick question before we let you go, Greg. Tom Brady came out and said that he can play for another 6 or 7 years, and as a Bills fan, this is the most terrifying thing that I have ever heard, and I wanted to throw up in my mouth a little bit when he did say that. So what do you think about Tom Brady staying in the league for another 6 or 7 years, and is he going to stay with the Patriots if that even happens?
First of all, I want to say that you two doing the show today, I mean, it sounds like you've been doing this your whole life. So
I appreciate that, Greg. Thank you very much.
Tom Brady won't be playing 6 or 7 years. I remember they were saying that around here in Indianapolis about Peyton Manning, and then he has the back injury and the neck injury. The injuries are going to creep up to him. You can't hold back Father Time. So I laughed hysterically. We've had Tanner, you and I have talked quite a bit about what's going to happen with Jimmy Garoppolo, and that the Patriots might be trying to hang on to him as a replacement for Tom. I mean, if it's going to be 6 or 7 years, then they won't need Jimmy Garoppolo. But I just, Father Time can be a bitch. And,
This is true.
Him saying that reminds me of some of those athletes that just, I think of Michael Jordan in Washington, that just are hanging on too long because they think they can, and the skills just diminish to a point. Even if he stays healthy, the skills diminish to a point where, he becomes a very pedestrian quarterback, and I don't see it happening at all.
I mean, look, as Mike Tyson once said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. I mean, this is the NFL. He can only take so many hits past 40 and still be upright. So
this is true. Baxter had a couple cities that he thought we should suggest in regards to maybe an NFL franchise. He brought up maybe moving a team to Hawaii, which, I mean, we see the Pro Bowl get played there every now and then. It's a long plane ride, but so is a trip to London from the Pacific States. So what do you think maybe a team in Hawaii or even like Salt Lake City, maybe Portland, or anywhere in Alabama for that matter?
I kind of like the Salt Lake City idea. I think that would be a state and a city that would support a football team. Hawaii, I don't think would work because they weren't drawn for the Pro Bowl. So to have to come up with 8 full dates is going to be difficult.
With 70,000 people too, yeah.
Yeah, and that strikes me the same way. I mean, it's going to be a heck of a lot more expensive to go see the Bears play in Hawaii, but I might just do that if, as opposed to going to Minneapolis, to watch them play. But there's if they studied it more, I think there's better locations than Las Vegas for sure. But they're not jumping up and down and saying we have $750 million to build you a stadium. So
I couldn't agree more. Greg, our time here is coming to a close, but is there anything else that you're looking forward to in the Vegas franchise, or anything you're looking at? Because obviously it won't happen for a couple of years, but is there anything else that you want to touch on with the Oakland Raiders moving to Las Vegas?
The cheerleader shows are going to be absolutely dynamic.
You're going to have the Blue Man Group and Siegfried and Roy doing the halftime show every week. It's going to be great.
Exactly. The national anthems will be amazing, too. I mentioned Celine Dion before. She'll be out there,
We'll see what happens. Greg, where can people find you on the social media verse? And, where are you out there? Where can people follow you and chat with you on social media?
Best place to get me is on Twitter. I am at 3G_media.
Beautiful. Well, of course, we always appreciate you having you on, Greg. I look forward to chatting with you more about this as everything kind of develops here. So thank you again for coming on and taking some time out of your day here to talk football with Trevor and I here on the show.
Awesome. You guys have a good day now.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
You
Greg.
too.
Take care.
Greg's awesome. He always has some great things to talk about. Anything in the interview that perked your ears up at all, or?
I think it was a great interview. I mean, obviously he understands as well as we both know that the NFL is driven by money, and it's just inevitable that they're always going to try to grow the bottom line. And it was nice to hear my thoughts be bounced off of Greg there. So it was nice to talk to him.
It's always funny when we talk about how the NFL is only focused on money, because I understand that when you are the commissioner of a league or you're an owner of a league, you want to make money. That is why you do this. You don't buy a $1 billion franchise and just expect to have the same value at the end of it. You want the league to grow, and you want to make money. It's all about the bottom line. But what I don't get is it takes away from the game sometimes. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it takes away from the game when you say, okay, if we put a team in Vegas and we already know that we're not going to have a fan base dedicated to this team, but if it makes me a couple more bucks, I'm okay with it.
It's a shame, honestly.
It is a shame.
I mean, I couldn't emphatically disagree more with what the NFL is doing with moving storied franchises like the Chargers and Raiders to places that are foreign to them. And, like we talked about as a Bills fan, it's comforting to know that we're not going anywhere. And to be quite honest, that was a reality that we had to deal with for a while.
Long time.
I mean, we could have very well been in Los Angeles instead of the Rams. I mean,
you're
Donald
right.
Trump said that he wouldn't have moved the team, but I don't believe that.
That's it's funny. So while all of this was going on, Terry Pegula, the Pegulas who owned the Sabres at the time, our NHL franchise in Buffalo, while all this was going on, Ralph Wilson, our founder and owner at the time, was playing a game every year in Toronto. And he was sometimes focused more on the money aspect of things as opposed to the success. I'm not going to talk badly about Ralph at all, but when the Pagulas came in and they bought the team, it was almost like a sigh of relief because we knew that they would never move the Bills. And Donald Trump was in line with an ownership group to buy them and potentially move them, even though he said that they wouldn't. And so would the Bon Jovi group that said that they were going to buy the Bills and not move them, which we all know that they would have ended up in Toronto. But
sorry to interrupt. Donald Trump did tweet after the Pagulas bought the franchise and said,
did.
"Terrible move." You can say it's a terrible move. They'll never be a good franchise. Never.
It was a terrible move. The only reason that they sold for that much is because I allowed it to get that high. So you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Save us all.
Dude,
Please save us.
It's unbelievable.
Go Bills.
Donald Trump could be the owner. Bills. You know, if Donald Trump was the owner of the Buffalo Bills, he wouldn't be president right now.
I don't like to think about that.
So
don't like to think about it.
Would you rather?
We doing this? we doing this?
We're gonna do it. We gotta do it. Okay, we're gonna play Would You Rather real quick. Would you rather have a Donald Trump presidency or a Donald Trump owned Buffalo Bills organized? If you knew he was never gonna move the Bills, but he had to be your owner.
Oh man, I love the Bills so much, but I'm also an American. I'm a patriot, so. I would have to say president, man.
I wouldn't want him.
I don't want him anywhere near the Bills.
I'm fine with him owning the country. I do not want him to own the Bills.
Yeah, the government can stay out of my football team. Back away, Donald Trump. You and your hair are not welcome in Buffalo.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
Save us.
Remember when Rex Ryan gave the he welcomed Donald Trump at the First Niagara Center.
Two peas in a pod.
2 peas in a pod.
They loved each other. They loved it. I mean,
Rex Ryan.
Basically,
he was the opener for Donald Trump at the arena.
The Rex Ryan era was highlighted by the Trump rally in Buffalo.
Oh my God.
Not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
Let's take a peek at some of the comments here real quick. And there are some familiar faces, of course. I don't know if you were able to check any of them out, but let's see. Wendy says, hello, my boys. Kim says, I'm smiling from ear to ear watching my awesome nephews. Nice sweatshirts, boys. Making your mom proud and matching gear. So, Chris says, shout out to the Burke boys. And James, who is my normal co-host, who was not able to make it this week, unfortunately, but he's a busy man, so I'm totally okay with that. Plus, it's great to have an opportunity to have you on, of course.
Absolutely.
James says, Twinsies, go Pack. James is a big Packer fan, he's the one that brought in the Jordy Flakes. So, it's a beautiful. He brought him in to compliment the Flutie Flakes.
There we go. Go Bills, go Packers.
Tom says, what's up, my brothers? Watching in the middle of a meeting with a Mexican restaurant owner out of East Aurora, New York. Extreme nacho taco, bro. Gonna have to try it out.
Hungry for nachos all of a
Don't you just
sudden.
love when your crowd sends irrelevant comments? Wait till you blow up. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much how it works. So, let's see. Anything else on here? Aunt Karen says, "Go Pack!" Shout out from Aunt Karen. Jess Klein, where is it here? Jess is here somewhere. Jess Kleinschmidt says, Nevada needs more pro sports. I don't agree with that. And the reason I will say is because there's a hockey team down there that should not be down there. This is my biggest thing. And I know we're getting off topic from football, but the NHL keeps moving teams and putting teams in the South. And I understand you want to grow the brand. But there have been good teams in the South, like Tampa, and Carolina even, who won a Stanley Cup. And they still can't build a consistent fan base. People in the South just don't care about hockey. That's why in Buffalo we love hockey, because I could hit a golf ball across the river to Canada. Like, that's how I tell people. Like, I have friends that come into Buffalo and I take them down the lakefront and I'm like, there it is. They're like, what? I'm like, Canada.
Canada, right there, right there, stone's throw.
Literally, like you could hit. Like you're driving down. I forget what it is. Yeah, right down next to the city. You could literally hit a ball across the Niagara River to Canada.
It's not advisable. Not advised, but might get in trouble. But you can do it.
You could drive the ball across there, right?
Sure. Well, fun fact, John Daly tried to he got a big audience. He's claimed that he could hit a golf ball over Niagara Falls, It's like 350 yards. He tried several times, did not do it. Big draw, didn't happen.
Big draw, didn't it? It's like when they got the guys who try and do the tightrope across
Nick
Niagara Falls.
Nick Walenda did it.
They do the tightrope across.
Got a lot of scrutiny because he was tethered to the line, but
here's the deal.
You're walking over one of the 7 wonders of the world.
I don't. That's not the way I want to go out. Like, I get it. Okay, I get it. The whole thing is, the reason people come out is because they're like, oh my God, like if he's gonna do this, there's a high possibility that he will fail and die. So I need to see that if that happens. Like, that's why all these people show up. So when he's getting scrutiny for tethering himself to the line to make sure that he doesn't die, it doesn't take away from the fact that he still did it. It's amazing.
It's pretty awesome. Couldn't get me up there. No,
I didn't make it up there either, but I was probably out here. Anyways.
So football.
Football. That's the whole purpose of the show, I suppose, right? We have all of our aunts watching, our mom, our brother, our dad. Pretty sure the only people that are watching and Jessica, who was just on the show an hour ago.
Oh, we like Jess. Welcome back, Jess.
Welcome back, Jess.
Should we get her on? Let's get Jess.
Oh my God, that's so great. So we talked a little bit with Greg about this. I want to talk about this really quick before we get into our Pick 6 segment because we are moving along pretty quick here. Tom Brady says he can play for 6 to 7 more years. Is Brady the Jaromir Jagr of the NFL? Can he just play forever? Is this going to happen?
We have to talk about this?
We have to.
All right, we'll talk about it.
We have to.
No.
It wouldn't be right if
Simple no. I mean,
no.
come on. What are we doing here? Every single pro athlete in the history of pro sports ever has wanted to play forever. But you know what? It's not possible. I mean, we're all human. Once pro athletes, become 40 years old, I mean, especially in the NFL, I mean, come on. I don't care if you take care of your body every single day and you eat nothing but kale. You're not going to be playing until you're 45.
Gross.
I mean,
we should have played the video of Chris Pratt on his Instagram that you showed me.
Oh man, that was great.
You talk about eating just only healthies. Chris Pratt's a perfect example of this because his diet is literally just the grossest diet ever. But he has to because he has to be just intensely fit.
Yeah, he said he doesn't have fun eating anymore. That's not the fun part. The fun part is looking at his ripped butt cheeks.
That's what he said, word for
in
word.
The mirror.
In the mirror, looking at his ripped butt cheeks.
That's right.
In the mirror, which is awesome. I love Chris Pratt.
Live with it, world.
And meanwhile, you and I, as we're watching, are just like, well, we're over here just enjoying our cheeseburgers.
We get our cheeseburgers
one day at a time.
That's right.
One day at a time. Actually, I was gonna ask you because we haven't had lunch yet.
Right.
Well, I had a salad for lunch. Hypothetically, a mythical. Oh my God, a mythical salad for lunch. I was gonna. What do you think about wings? After I'll take you to the best wing place in Milwaukee.
I do enjoy wings.
Okay.
No buffalo wings. Those aren't real. That's not a real thing.
They're not buffalo wings. They're wings.
Do not call them buffalo
They're just
wings. People call them that. Fun fact, because the chicken wing was created in Buffalo.
It was
at
Anchor Bar
at
right
the
there.
Anchor Bar
At the
right
Anchor
there
Bar.
by accident.
So we'll have to tag the Anchor Bar in the video.
That's
so
right. Free advertising.
Baxter wanted me to do another Would You Rather. Are you down for this? Don't look at it because I want to. Okay. When it comes to toned butt cheeks,
Okay.
would you rather smoking Jay Cutler
Oh God.
or Chris Pratt?
Oh God.
Chris Pratt brings the humor. Jay Cutler brings the cigars.
I have to pick. one.
I guess.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Pratt.
I gotta go with Pratt.
I love him.
I
Parks
want
and Rec.
to have a beer with Chris Pratt. He's probably just a cool dude.
Oh, he hasn't.
We'll try and get him on. If anybody out there knows how to get Chris Pratt on the show, we'll bring him on. Baxter says Jay Cutler. He's going with Cutler.
Oh,
Whatever. God, I can't get away from this guy. I don't think 6 to 7 years is way too long.
No,
I don't think it's not possible.
Absolutely not. As a Bills fan, please God.
Please God, no.
Please God.
Please God, no. And maybe what we're looking at is similar to the end of Brett Favre's career and the end of Drew Bledsoe's career where, yeah, they said that they could keep playing, and yeah, Brett Favre could have still played. He could probably still play today. Would he still be Brett Favre? No, absolutely not. But somehow they'll weed him out, and I think that's why the Patriots are still hanging on to Jimmy Garoppolo because they know it could be just one season away where we see Tom Brady get a big hit, and he's just never the same again. Granted, he is in great shape. He's in great shape.
I'll hand it to him. His work ethic with staying healthy and in shape, I mean, it's second to none. I mean, you hear that from his teammates and people who are close to him. But, I mean, that can only take you so far. As Greg said, Father Time is undefeated. I mean, personally, I'm giving him 2 years. I mean, I would say a year, but I think, with his work ethic and drive, and the system that he's been in his entire career with the Patriots, I'm giving him 2 years. I hate to say it, but that's what I think.
I think we'd be lucky if it was only 2 years.
It can't come soon enough.
It can't come soon enough. We've waited 15 years just to talk about it being only 2 more years.
Has it been that long? What year is it?
What year is it? Where am I?
Oh, man.
Wendy says, hi, Adam. Adam spent some time at our house on vacation. We went to the Giants game. Adam posted a comment. I think it was in halftime. Adam said that he's usually the first person to get kicked out after being at a game for 5 minutes. Now, funny story. So Adam came to Buffalo to go to the Giants game with me 2 years ago, week 3, and of course we lost by like a field goal or something. But Adam and I, we were in the lower bowl, which is usually the more intense. Like you get some fun fans down there. Nobody's breaking tables, but Adam and I are in the lower bowl, and we're standing up. It's third down. And on third down, the stadium blows a train horn to get the fans pumped up and jacked up and loud to help the team stop them on third down. So the Giants are 3rd and 1, and I'm like, oh, dude, we got to get up and get pumped for this. They're blowing the train horn. Adam and I stand up. We're screaming. We're yelling. And some old curmudgeon 2 rows back tells me to sit down and shut up. And he's wearing a Bills jersey. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you're going to tell me, a 24-year-old at the time, that I can't root for my team on 3rd and 1? The same team that you're rooting for that you've also watched lose for the last 15, 17 years? Also, this guy probably watched the Bills lose 4 Super Bowls in a row. And he's yelling at me for standing up and cheering on 3rd down.
That's just wrong.
Did I cross the line? Did I cross the line?
He crossed the line.
The Giants crossed the line, by the way.
Coming to Buffalo.
They got the first down.
They crossed the line coming to Buffalo.
Coming to New York.
That's right. Only team in New York. Fun fact, Buffalo Bills.
So that was a fun story I had to tell about Adam. But yes, Ken says converted cheesers in those Packers hoodies. It's about time, Bills boys.
Is it week 8 already?
Is it week 8 already?
Oh man,
it's great. I love it. Hey, I got a new segment. It's not necessarily a new segment, but I want to do it. It's our Pick 6 we do every week. I'm glad you're here because you and I'm being Bills fans, we have a great mentality when it comes to tailgating. The Bills fans are much like the Packers fans, where we probably tailgate harder than most other franchises. So I want to do a little thing where we draft our perfect tailgate items, and I think you will have some of the same things that I will. So this is why I want to do it in a draft format, so we can kind of have to think about it a little bit.
Oh man, a lot of pressure.
Be
First
smart
round
about
pick.
it. So
okay.
Should I go first, or do you want me to give you the honors of here? You know what? I'll flip a coin.
There's no coin. I'll go first.
It's heads. You go first.
All right. Sounds good.
Nope, the coin didn't flip. We'll do it again. The coin did not flip. The referee screwed it up, and you go first.
Okay. You know what? I am going to pick buffalo chicken wing dip. Buffalo chicken wing dip, of course. That was going to be your first pick too, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, man. Come on.
I thought about it.
All right.
Should I pick TJ's chicken wing bread?
Oh man, we tried to make it for the Dolphins game.
It was so
Christmas
cold,
Eve. Oh man, didn't work out. Looked delicious.
We don't need to get into that game though. No. Okay, so chicken wing dip. Come on to your first pick.
That's my first overall pick. Chicken wing dip did not attend the draft, so they had to answer the phone at their house. And
do we have them on camera? No, we don't. Okay. Okay. So chicken wing dip.
Chicken wing dip.
We'll get to. I was surprised you didn't go this route. When I think of a tailgate, there's one thing that has to be there for it to be a tailgate.
Labatt Blue.
Labatt Blue.
Are you serious?
I won't pick Labatt Blue.
Oh man.
But I will pick beer.
Okay.
But see, if I pick beer, does that mean you can't pick beer? Yeah,
I guess
so.
You're making the rules. So
I think so. So
right.
I'm going to pick beer.
Okay.
I want as much beer as people can drink.
I'm embarrassed I
several
didn't
varieties.
pick that.
So
I'm embarrassed.
That's why I was. You got to think about this.
All right. I wasn't.
So far, Trevor has buffalo chicken wing dip, and Tanner has beer.
Okay.
So far, I can get food in the stadium.
Completely different.
So far, my tailgate's looking pretty good.
Completely different wavelengths. I stand by my pick.
Okay, round 2. What do you got?
Oh man. I think you know what? I'm gonna go with Mighty Taco. I'm going to pick Mighty Taco.
Oh,
Yes.
my gosh.
Because I feel like it would pair well with the
Chicken wing
Because
dip?
we're next to each other tailgating,
You're just throwing
obviously.
all food here? It's just gonna be a buffet.
Well, I
We're
can't
right
pick
next to
beer
each
now,
other.
so-
Or there's gonna be a wall. I'm gonna build a wall in between our tailgates,
Oh,
and
we're
I'm
not-
gonna make you pay for it.
We're building walls now.
I'm gonna make
It's going
you
to be the
pay
best
for it.
wall.
It's gonna be the best tailgate.
It'll be the biggest
It'll
wall.
be the greatest tailgate. It'll be all the beer. And then if you want to scale the wall to go over to the other side, you can get chicken wing dip
Be
over there.
a wall of Labatt 30 packs.
Baxter says he chooses bags. Should we just include him on this?
Sure.
Should we just include him on this?
All right.
Okay, so Baxter chooses bags. I have beer, and you have chicken wing dip and Mighty Taco. For those of you watching that don't know what Mighty Taco is, it's basically like Taco Bell, except local to Western New York and way better.
Yes.
And they may or may not infuse
Taco Bell
crack
is
cocaine in there.
Taco Bell is a poor man's
Mighty Taco.
It
is.
Yep.
You don't ask what's in the beef.
You just accept it.
I was gonna say this really quick. One time, like I like Taco Bell, but there was one point, and I always had to think about it, and it doesn't necessarily stop me. But at one point, the owner, I think it was the owner, or the president of Taco Bell, came out at one point when asked, because you have to for it to be called beef, you have to have at least 30% beef in that mixture. Which
What?
Is, yeah.
What's the 70? What's the rest?
Well, here's the thing: they fell below the 30%.
How?
So
I'm so confused.
So the government was like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
That's kind of like when
Well-
McDonald's said, all white meat chicken nuggets.
You're like, "What
From
was it
here on.
before?"
What was it before? Don't want to know.
So here's the kicker, right? So the owner of Taco Bell, when asked what the rest of it was, he said, "Well, that's our little secret.
Come on. That was a direct quote?
You cannot have a secret recipe if you are a fast food joint. I
Yeah.
need to know what it is you're putting in my tacos."
Wink, wink. It's our little
It's
secret.
our little secret.
What the heck?
It's brilliant.
This is the
and
world we
terrible.
live in. It's going to be the best
brilliant and terrible.
recipe.
It's going to be great.
You won't know what it is, but you'll love
Oh, it's terrible.
it. Anyways,
terrible.
hashtag off the rails.
Hashtag off the rails. Okay, so let's go over what we have so far. So you have chicken wing dip, Mighty Taco, which
That's right.
is great. I have
You
beer.
just have beer.
And,
What are we eating?
And Baxter has bags. So
Bags like
like
corn
cornhole.
toss. Okay.
So I am going to go with food because I do need food.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with my Milwaukee route and go bratwurst and like onions. So like bratwurst sausages.
Okay.
So I have sausages at my tailgate.
I can get down with that.
Char grilled, marinated in beer. Baxter picks chili. That's good. That's good. You go to a Packers game, they're always gonna have chili.
Should have brought some of Mom's Cincinnati
chili.
Really
I
missed
thought
an
about making it
opportunity.
this week. Maybe we should make that on Friday, which
Sure.
is tomorrow.
Is it week 8 already?
Is it week 8 already?
Where's my Packers stuff? Gotta get it.
Okay, so Baxter picks chili. What's your
right.
third overall pick?
I think you like this, and I'm glad that I was able to pick it before you could.
Okay.
Thank you, Baxter, for allowing me to have my train of thought bring me here. But I'm going to pick Can Jam. Yep, I'm picking it.
I knew you were gonna do it.
Yep.
I was waiting for it.
For
I
those
was
who-
gonna give you that pick.
Oh,
I wasn't gonna pick it because I knew you wanted it.
Well,
Can Jam is
it was created in Buffalo, New York, and it's now
you can-
nationwide.
It's accessible. You can
Probably
get it
all over the
literally
world.
anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the world at a sports store, which is amazing. It's literally just 2 garbage cans. You throw a frisbee to your buddy on the other side, and it's awesome.
Yep, 4-player game. It's a lot of fun. If you've never played it before, don't know what it is, I would look it up. It's a lot of fun.
It is great. Can Jam. Look that up. So I don't know if I need games, but here's what I know I'm gonna need. So if I have beer and I have as many bratwursts I can eat, I'm going to choose a DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's gonna be a DJ at my tailgate,
Okay.
like full on DJ, like takes requests.
TJ? The DJ?
Not TJ,
Okay.
but DJ.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have a DJ at my tailgate. We're gonna have bratwurst and we're gonna have beer. So far I got the music covered. I haven't figured out the games yet, but you picked Can Jam, so I need to think about that. So I got a DJ.
Okay.
Baxter chooses wine. I'm not going to Baxter's tailgate.
They're getting cultured over there playing Bago.
They've got cornhole, chili, and a wine. And it's probably like Moscato or something
Yeah,
too.
this
He
Cabernet
said
pairs well with the chili. Who drinks wine with chili?
Baxter
slowly
Unbelievable.
raises his hand, I do.
Unbelievable. All right, so what's your fourth pick? What do you got?
Wow. You know what? I am going to pick. I'm going to pick Some gin. I'll bring
Some
some
gin?
gin. Yeah, as if we're gonna.
Because you don't have booze yet, do you?
I don't. I'm embarrassed. I need to bring something.
You need to bring booze.
So I'll bring some gin.
So copious amounts of Tanqueray and tonic.
That's right.
Okay. That sounds like a party I kind of want to hang out with now. It sounds a lot better than just light beer.
Sure.
But, okay. So he's got gin. He's got hard alcohol. Can we just call it hard alcohol?
Sure. Hard alcohol.
Okay.
Bringing that.
He's got hard alcohol,
We'll go
which
with
is
that.
pretty great. So they're going crazy. They're taking shots, cooking burgers and stuff on a hood of a Pinto.
Pinto Ron.
Pinto Ron.
Bill's Mafia coming at you.
Okay, so I'm going to choose. Let's see. What do I have so far? I have beer, I have a DJ, and I have bratwurst.
That's right.
So my fourth overall pick, Baxter chooses cannolis. He's going to have cannolis. God, who is this guy?
Such a weird tailgate going on over here. I actually want to be a part of it because I feel like I'm watching history. It's like a car accident. You can't look away.
I'm going to choose. Let's see. I need games. I'm just going to do a football. You need to have a
Conventional.
football.
Conventional.
It's boring, but conventional.
No, you messed up.
Can I change? Is it too late?
Nope,
Okay.
that's it.
All right, that's fine. I got beer, brats, a DJ, and football. Go
That's
ahead.
right.
Trevor has buffalo chicken wing dip, mighty taco, canned jam, and hard alcohol, but copious amounts of gin.
That's right. Let's see. You know what? Yeah, I feel embarrassed for both of us that neither of us have brought this up.
Don't do it.
You don't know what I'm going to do.
I might.
All right. I am going to bring not just any chicken wings.
Oh.
Anchor Bar chicken wings.
You're bringing Anchor Bar wings?
Yes.
Oh.
And this sauce.
Dude.
2 for 1.
That's amazing. So you got the wings.
I got the wings.
That puts it up. That puts your tailgate up a notch in my book, I think.
That's right.
Baxter, what do you got over there? You got another one? No? Okay, I'll go. So I have a football, conventional. I have beer, conventional. I have bratwurst, conventional. But I also have a personal DJ. Pretty awesome. I'm throwing a wild card at you.
Okay.
I'm bringing a plasma screen specifically so I could play Tecmo Super Bowl.
Wow. I'm done.
You're going to hang out at my tailgate?
I think you win. I'm there.
That's not like the most conventional thing, but like, if you're sick of, taking shots and shotgunning beers in front of the DJ, you can sit down and, play some Tecmo.
Hey, go Bills.
Go Bills. Maybe there's a Madden hooked up. So I got video games.
Okay, video games. Namely Tecmo.
Baxter chooses a flag, like an Italian flag. Does he breaking stuff over there? What kind of flag? An American flag? There's already one at the stadium. Unbelievable. I don't want to hang out at his tailgate. We had dinner at their place last night. There wasn't a flag there. I didn't see a flag, but he's going to bring one to his tailgate?
Hey.
Unbelievable.
Wait, what kind of flag?
American flag.
American flag.
There's already one there. There's a couple.
Hey. Maybe he'll
To each their own.
Maybe it'll be the one they hold across the field.
Yes.
Could be a very very important part of the game.
Mom brings up a good point. She says, how about bringing tickets to the game? Or are you just staying in the parking lot all
Oh
day?
man, we might just be in the parking lot
Just be in the
at this
parking
point
lot.
with these tailgating ideas.
Tom says your beers are getting warm. Dad says he'd bring the sun.
The sun?
The sun.
Like the actual
He
sun?
said that's better than rain or
Well,
snow.
That's good. Am I up? It's my
Yeah,
turn?
sure.
Okay.
Go for it. What are we on right now? Are we in the fifth round?
This is
This is the last one? This is the last round. Okay.
Yep. I do like Mom's ticket idea. However, I'm not going to go that route. I am going to bring Bills jerseys for everyone
Wow.
because everyone needs
So
to
you're at a
support the
Bills
Bills.
game.
Yeah. What game would I be at?
I don't know. It's a good point.
Thank you.
It's a good point. You see, people coming to my tailgate are already going to have their own Bills
Well,
gear.
me too, but they're getting more.
So
Can't
you're
have too
basically
much.
just bribing people to come over to your tailgate
That's
at
right.
this point. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I have a DJ. I have video games. I have a football. I have beer and brats. How do I top that off? I need a tent. Just in case.
Just in case the sun doesn't come.
Just in case the sun doesn't come out, I need a tent that has heaters in it. So a heated tent. Is that cool? Can I call that? Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds
Baxter,
good.
you got one last pick. Come
my
on!
God.
Are you serious?
You didn't go there.
Oh my God!
Do we have to say it?
Yeah.
God.
Every show. Okay, so Baxter's tailgate. He has bags, he has chili, he has Moscato, he has cannolis, he has an American flag, and LeVar Ball. We peaked.
I want to go back to the time in my life where I didn't know who LeVar Ball was. Is that
I want to
possible?
go back there.
Is that
I wanna go
possible?
back that time. Why didn't either of us choose to have Rex Ryan and the Ryan brothers at your tailgate? That'd be awesome.
Would it though?
Not anymore.
Would it really be that awesome?
No, probably
Yeah,
not.
I mean,
Probably not.
let's go eat a snack.
LeVar Ball, though, come on. Yeah, let's go eat a snack. Can we hold up the board one more time? Okay, so
Just to recap.
So you guys can vote. Trevor's tailgate says he chooses buffalo chicken wing dip, mighty taco, can jam, hard alcohol, specifically gin, Anchor Bar wings, and Bills jerseys for everyone. It's clearly a buffalo tailgate.
That's right.
Neither of us chose any tables to break
Well,
or light on fire.
you know, I mean,
There'll be people around doing it for us, so it's not a big deal. My tailgate includes beer, brats, a personal DJ inside of a tent, a football for the kids, and a television with video games, just in case you get bored or want to beat somebody in some Madden or Tecmo.
and a tent to put it all under.
Tent to put it all under.
Yep.
So.
And
LeVar Ball.
Baxter's unconventional tailgate that I want to be a part of.
Listen, I want Baxter's tailgate to be at least within walking distance of ours, so we can walk over with a beer every now and then, just look and be like, okay, so they're playing bags while eating chili and drinking wine. There's cannolis, but nobody's really touching them. But at least they're American. Also, is that LeVar Ball?
Well, you know, obviously we'll all be together tailgating, and we'll just build a wall around our 3 tailgating events, and
So we
we'll
can
put
hang
LeVar
out,
Ball on the
yeah.
outside of the
We'll
wall.
put
He can't come in.
We'll put
He'll be
LeVar
there.
Ball on the outside of the wall, and I'll make him pay for
It's
it.
going to be great.
gonna
LeVar
be
Ball won't
great.
be there. He
It's
will
gonna
be
be
there,
great.
but he won't.
He will, but he won't.
So vote for your favorites and pick me.
Yeah, and pick me.
That's my pitch.
You're right, though. So what you said before we went live was you said we're just going to pick our own tailgates. Hell yeah, I'm going to my tailgate.
We'll be at every single one of them.
Okay.
Sounds good to
All
me.
right. Yours tailgate sounds good.
So does yours.
Thanks.
That was terrible.
The worst.
There we go.
Worst
There
high
we go.
five ever. Okay, let's go back and just thank everybody for commenting, which is our entire family across the country.
It's already week 9. We got to go.
We gotta go.
Man.
Yes, Mom, Dad, and Kim, Chris, Jessica for coming on and commenting, of course. James, I wish you were here. Maybe we can get Trevor back in the near future. We'll see what happens, or at least maybe we can get him to call in from Buffalo. How's it going out there? We still suck. All right, thanks, Trevor.
Still snowing.
Still snowing.
It's July.
TJ, Wendy, and Karen, Kent, Adam, of course. Love when Adam comes on and comments. And thank you, Baxter, for participating in what I believe was a fun segment where we drafted the best tailgate.
Yeah, I think
May need to do this again closer to the season, but yeah.
sure. I think we all
fun.
won.
I think we all won. We're all
Except for
having
LeVar
fun,
Ball.
so.
He's outside the wall.
He's outside the wall. And, of course, thank you, Gregg Schwartz, for coming on. As always, we didn't get to everything we wanted to talk to today, so be sure to tune in next week. Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock. I will actually, give or take, of course. We're doing it on Thursday today because James was out of town. But Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock, that is pretty much set in stone. James and I will be here next week, and maybe we can get Trevor to call in or something. But we'll see what we can do. We have the opportunity to be creative here on this show. But, of course, thank you for coming in and commenting. Be sure to like, share, and be sure to tell Facebook to give you notifications anytime we go live here on Brew Sports. Who knows how long they'll keep me around, but I'm sure you'll want to watch as long as I'm here. So, Trevor, thank you again for coming all the way across the country to be on the show today, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. This has been a treat for me,
Hey,
and I had a great time.
Any postmortem?
What's that?
Postmortem? What's your consensus? How'd it go?
Today?
Yeah.
I think I'll give myself a B.
Give yourself a B.
Give myself a B. Room for improvement, but I'm satisfied.
You got 6 or 7 more years in you?
I'm giving myself 2.
Give yourself 2? 2 more years?
Yeah. Oh, man. God save us.
Got to eat more kale. Anyways, thank you all for watching. For Trevor Burke, I am Tanner Burke, and this has been a special edition of the Pick 6 with the Burke brothers. So until next time, I'm a Bills fan hiding behind green and gold. We will see you on Tuesday.